Hey everyone, how you doing? It's Craig Campbell from Pastor Craig's Cards, and just enjoying a really nice mid-October day here in Western Pennsylvania. Got the windows open, some fresh air blowing in, and football season's well underway. Some of the teams are now starting to separate themselves from the pack, and of course we've got the baseball playoffs well underway. And it's been a really enjoyable playoff season so far. Really competitive games, and kind of looking forward to the World Series to see how it plays out. Whether we have a Subway Series with the Mets and the Yankees, or if you have the Yankees and the Dodgers, two classic franchises with two of the best players, and you never know about the Cleveland Guardians, and just to see what happens there. I'm not a fan of either of the four teams, nor am I really a hater of the four teams. So whoever wins it will be enjoyable. I'm just really hoping for some really good, compelling, competitive playoff baseball. We've also got hockey underway. Go Pens. I've been watching a little bit of the Penguins on TV, and looking forward to the Penguin season, see what happens. Crosby and Malkin, they're definitely in their last years, obviously, but it's been a great run and really enjoyable to watch both of them play. Last night, I think Crosby got his 1600th point, and I think there's only 10 players that have done that. And I think Evgeny Malkin got his 500th goal last night. So two big, huge milestones by the Penguins. And also we've got basketball starting up here around the corner. And that's kind of what I wanted to talk about was a little bit of basketball. So let me get the camera turned around here and we will get on with this. Well, okay, as you can see here, I've got a book from Coin Toss to Championship, 1971, the year of the Milwaukee Bucks. And we lived a little bit north of Milwaukee, about 50 miles, and me and my brother used to listen to the Milwaukee Bucks on the radio. Ed Doucette was their announcer on the radio, and he had such a good way of describing the game that even as I was like 10 years old, but I could still kind of understand. I really had taken a liking to basketball, and I was actually a pretty good, even as a little kid, I was a fairly decent basketball player, and I just really liked it. And then we went to the mall in Sheboygan, and we saw this guy here, John McLaughlin, and he was a sharpshooter. Boy, he was a really good guard on that Milwaukee Bucks team. And I can remember getting an autograph from John McLaughlin. And John was about like 6'5", and just a great player. You can see he was career averager was around 13 points a game, but he was came to Milwaukee, and he was a real key for the Bucks for winning that championship, as far as I'm concerned. But got to meet John McLaughlin, and he was kind of my original basketball hero, and that's kind of why I'm really happy to have this card in a slab, because I can still remember just being amazed to actually meet a professional player. He was at the mall. He signed it was like a 8x10 or a 5x7 picture, and I don't have it anymore. I sure wish I did, but John McLaughlin. And I just love these 70, 71 basketball cards. And the 69-70, of course, are the ones with the Lou Alcindor rookie card. But these were the last year that they made the Tall Boys. And I'm just going to show you a few cards that I had here. This is one of my favorites. Just a great card. Card number 1. Scoring leaders: Lou Alcindor, Jerry West, Elvin Hayes. Just three great players. Really good shape. These cards are so hard to find centered. You can see left to right on this one here. And just like all of the other late 60s, early 70s card issues by Topps, centering was just a terrible problem. But really like the back of these here, where you could see it really big who the leading scorers were. What a list there with John Havlicek, Connie Hawkins, Bob Rule. A couple of guys you don't hear much about: Flynn Robinson, Bob Rule. Lou Hudson was a heck of a player, Sweet Lou. But real happy to have that card. And of course, this one here is another great one with the rebounding leaders: Elvin Hayes, Wes Unseld, and Lou Alcindor. Again, centering is just a real problem with these cards, and I just love the big boy cards, the tall boy cards. And you can see Elvin Hayes, Wes Unseld, Lou Alcindor. Bill Bridges, he was a heck of a player. Not a very tall guy, but he was a tough rebounder. Willis Reed, of course, Billy Cunningham, Gus Johnson, Tom Boerwinkle with the Chicago Bulls, Jerry Lucas, and Clyde Lee. But really do enjoy these cards. They're bring back a lot of really good memories for me. My brother used to get them. He was 6 years older than I was, so he had the cards. I can remember looking at them and just being amazed at them. Now here's another guy real special to me, Bobby Dandridge, forward with the Milwaukee Bucks. I think he came out of Norfolk State, and just a great player. And then he went on with the Bucks. He was on their championship team. Then he went to the Baltimore Bullets and played with Wes Unseld, Elvin Hayes, and won a championship there in the late 70s. But Bobby D, he was a sweet, sweet player. And again, you can see the centering issues with these left to right. Just really, really tough. And I always liked the backs because there was just a lot of information in the cartoon and just really nice cards. These are just really, really cool. So Bobby Dandridge, he was another one of my early heroes in basketball. Now this guy here, Elgin Baylor, just a great player. I honestly don't remember much about him. His career was winding down here. He had a lot of knee problems. But for the longest time, Elgin Baylor was like the leading scorer in the NBA, or one of the leading scorers. Just a great, great player. And if you ever see film of him in the mid-'60s, early 60s, just unbelievable. Just a great player. He went on to be like a general manager with the Clippers. Didn't really have a whole lot of success, but he hung around basketball for a long, long time. Here's a great one. Clyde Frazier, Walt Frazier, New York Knicks. Great player. Just a great guard. There were so many good guards at the time. And Walt was New York personified. And I think he still announces games for the New York Knicks. And the back of their All-Star cards are kind of cool. They have like a newspaper clipping on them. But Walt Frazier, he was just a great defender and just a clutch player. I mean, just an all-around really, really good player. And I wanted to show just a couple of ones here that I don't have graded that are really important to me. And this here is Oscar Robertson. And Oscar came to the Bucks. He was like the veteran that came and settled everything down. And, Lou Alcindor, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar just had the great pleasure to play with Oscar Robertson. And then, of course, all those years with Magic Johnson. But Oscar, the Big O, just one of the greatest players of all time in the NBA. And so that's his All-Star card. And then I have his regular issue card here. And you can see it's a little bit faded, that white kind of streak running up here. And but, these cards are quite old. And the Big O, just a great player. I didn't really appreciate his greatness, I guess, as a little kid. But you can see that at that point he had 22,000 career points. Just great. It says he's NBA's greatest playmaker, and he really was. Just a fantastic player. And I just got this one here from Jake at Legends Never Die. And Nate Thurmond, just a great center, often overlooked by people who don't follow basketball, but Nate Thurmond was a fantastic center. Lou Alcindor, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar would always talk about how Nate was probably one of the toughest defenders that he ever played against. And he was a phenomenal player, great rebounder. Look at that, he had 42 rebounds in a game November 9th of 65. Just a great, great player. And he had quite a career, played for quite a while. But again, you can see the issue with the centering, top to bottom on this one here. But a great player, Nate Thurmond. And last but not least, Butterbean Bob Love from the Chicago Bulls. He was a great, great player. Now, Milwaukee and Chicago, they had a really, really good rivalry in basketball because you had Norm Van Leer and Oscar Robertson, Jerry Sloan, Oscar Robertson, Lucius Allen. Then you had Bob Love and Bobby Dandridge. And the only place they could never match up really good with was that center, of course. So they had no answer for Lou Alcindor. But I remember the Bulls and the Bucks just having a great rivalry, really all through the 70s. And Bob Love was just one of just a steady player. He was so good. Butterbean was his nickname. He was just so clutch on the baseline, and just a fantastic player. I don't know if he's in the Hall of Fame. I haven't looked that up, but yeah, Bob Love, just a great player. Love that warm-up that they're wearing there. That's just great. So Bob Love, and then this set's got Pete Maravich as the big rookie, and I don't have a Pete Maravich card, but that's one of the biggest rookies, Pete Maravich, and they also had a number of SP cards. I'm sorry about that light. I should have turned my ceiling fan off. They also had a number of short print cards in the set, and makes it a little bit difficult. But I'm going to just slowly build this set if I can. Just take my time. I'm not looking to have them all graded. I'd like to get the main guys graded, and just build it as I can. And it's just a set that really reminds me of the first year that I really remember basketball with any type of clarity at all. And that was the Bucks in 1971. So hope you've enjoyed this little look at some basketball cards, and everybody keep on collecting, enjoy the hobby, and take care.